So, 22nd of February 2022. All the twos. I just noticed now today is, and it's Tuesday. Tuesday. Um, this is a very late recap. Um, I had to rush out to do some domestic things and never really got round to doing it. But anyway, never late than ever. All right. I am doing the recap now. I I also marked in my notes. Um, Sorry, I just got distracted with something. Yeah, I marked in my notes um, what happened today, and excuse me. I don't know why it's all jumbled up. Okay, all right, that's weird. Right, so anyway, so yeah, I just marked here pretty much what had happened today, and it's very very difficult to see right now on the screen. So I'm gonna go through it and essentially how I played uh, today. So um, essentially, I don't know if I took a trade on this bar, and I traded two accounts. So I'm not really sure what was what, but I remember I when we opened, I noticed we had a big gap up. Excuse me, and um, was looking for either a wedge top, double bottom, wedge bottom. Um, I noticed this looks like a really good setup here, but I noticed that and this I noticed afterwards that we had a bounce. This bar just started printing. I was printing really strongly, and I bought the high. I didn't actually ride it all the way up to the top, but I should have because we went for a measured move, and in fact, this is where it all sort of stopped. This move and this retracement ensured that we'll have a second leg up, and you can see we had a little bit of a wedge. I noticed that we had this wedge here, three highs, one, two, three, and I actually took it short here. Put my stop at the top. I was not very comfortable with how volatile this was. I think I had about four. Normally, I do two MES contracts for this sort of move, but this time, yeah, it was about 16 points. I had four, so that was quite a bit of risk, which I was not ready to take for the account I was trading. Anyway, I took it all the way down to the moving average, and I got out over here. I think I got quite a few points out of it, and I was quite happy with the trade. And that was actually good. And that was on my personal account. I think that was almost 10 points. Yeah, it was 10 points. That was good for. Excuse me. That was good for the trade that I took, and it worked pretty well. Then I saw we had an inside bar. By the time I noticed this in II pattern, um, this bar had just broken. I took a short over here, put the stop over there, and I went for a measured move. I've not actually marked it on this chart. I'll just mark it now. It was about from here to the breakout there. So got out around there. At this point, I wasn't sure whether we were going to retrace back. I noticed that we started to wedge. But what was interesting about this was the fact that, okay, fair enough, this is a spike. It's just such strong selling. I wasn't sure we are going to make this measured move target down here. Such strong selling, and I saw this wedge low of day. I thought we're going to test that and probably reverse, and it'll be a trading range day. I'll possibly even head back up. After all, this was the first leg up, pull back, maybe the second leg up. But there's so much selling that you start to think, maybe it's not going to happen like that. And I sort of thought maybe we might come back down here. Anyway, if that was the case, this was going to reject the moving average. So we kind of started chopping around, attempted to break the moving average over here. Obviously, having seen this wedge bottom, this failed and failed strongly. So at this point, I actually put a stop entry to go short and put the risk over there. Got filled on this bar, and now I think about it, I should have waited maybe gone below this bar, because I think the risk was a bit. But actually, no, it would have made a difference. Anyway, so went short below this bar and put my stop above. This is the major move target, so therefore was targeting around here, and just kind of waited for a while. I saw we kind of moved up again, and it's only now I realized this. At the time I didn't see it, but I actually put this in my notes. But this is actually a wedge. One, two, actually, yeah, it is a wedge, and you can kind of do that as well. One, pull back. Two, pull back. Three, I don't know. Three different highs anyway. Maybe it's not a wedge, maybe, but I treat it as a wedge. I'm gonna delete it now. Um, one, pull back. Two, pull back. Maybe almost a wedge. It's a triangle. Um, so you have price now almost stopped me out. Came back down, went back up, and at this point I just got out for some weird reason. I think I went long for some stupid reason. And then I noticed we sold off, and I just cancelled the trade and went short again. And I think at this point I started to ask the question, like, you can see two attempts already to break this did not work, and then this final attempt did not work. The market's trying to do something repeatedly, it does the opposite. Excuse me. So we broke these lows and started selling off. Every single wedge that was formed, 1, 2, 3, failed. 1, 2, 3. Or you could see another wedge here, failed. This is the final wedge. Exhaustion over here. I actually went long here and then saw this wicked up, came back down, came back, and I got out for break even. And then when we broke out, we had some news. The president was speaking, so it got really, really volatile over here. Went long. My stop was, I actually did not trade with a proper stop. I just went long and then came down and I lost everything I had made. Then went long again here and made it all back here. Excuse me. Then I noticed we started to do this wedge bottom. It's kind of a test of the open again. It's a trading range, almost a triangle too. And then we had this lot of selling over here. In fact, when I was waiting for all this to happen, you can see all these wicks. We actually had a third low here, but it was more like a 1, 2, pull back, 2, pull back, and 3, and lots of selling here. We actually got all the way down to the lows here, and then just rallied strongly. Good entry over here if you had to with a stop there. I didn't actually take this. Excuse me. But this would have been an interesting play. Yeah, so this was a bear trend from this double top, which coincided with a trend line that was over here. I've not actually shown that. Oh, okay, it's not there. Some weird reason. I actually had a trend line there drawn. I think I just didn't save it. But yeah, I had a trend line drawn over there, and in terms of emotions, it was quite cool to trade. The only thing is, I wasn't able to. I wish I had held this, particularly this trade. I had held it all the way down, and I really need to learn how to do that, not being faked out. It's very difficult to do until you're very confident in what you're seeing. I do like the idea of getting in at these lows for these measured moves, and getting out of the measured move targets, and then selling the lows again and getting out over there. I think there's some very, very good trades in here, and of course there's also a really good one over here all the way down towards here. All right, that was my trading day. I actually did a lot of the trading on the NQ as well, or the MNQ, so pretty much the same pattern and sort of taking the same trades. All right, we should see. I may not trade tomorrow because tomorrow is Daddy Day, but if I do, I will try to see how we carry on. Looks like we may have a bullish. Hopefully we break this trend line here and move higher.